Fam, you know what? It just, this weekend is it. But I started thinking, because starting tomorrow, we can go ahead and start making the 53-man roster, right? And thinking about who he thinks is going to make this team. But I thought about who the guy's going to get cut and who's going to be brought back on the PS squad. And since saying, well, let me, it's clear with only a couple of weeks left before game one of the Niners opening day that the offseason roster, fam, we have an overabundance of talents, every position except for, I'm still concerned about the center position, but otherwise, every position is just loaded. The only way for a player to demonstrate skills above the competition is during practice this year due to the COVID situation, right? So we've not seen any preseason games. Nobody can make a showing in those games. I don't know how long they work each and every day during practice. That's a lot of guys to get a close look at, and a coaching staff that would have to be expanded by about 20 guys, right? So what are they looking at? Chances are the coaching staff already knows who they want, is my thinking, to make permanent for the 2020 season. The placing of veteran players on the practice squad is an option that was agreed upon by the NFLPA for the 2020 season, as you already know. My question is, who are the veteran players that will be offered a spot on the practice squad, and who can be expected to accept it? It's a big thing, fam, because, it's a different atmosphere this year. I don't know if players should actually feel insulted by such a notion. But I got vets that may be offered a practice squad role may have to go through a process of first getting cut. That's the thing, I don't know. Some of these guys got fragile egos. I don't know, because I don't know these guys that willing to just bring it in, right? And we don't. And then they'll be signed to the PS. You see the guy. I put some guys on the screen. I thought that might be in that category. I'm sure they want to. I think they want to keep Tavon Austin, but I don't know if they want to keep him to sacrifice some of the other guys they already have that have been with us for the last couple of years, right? Jonathan Cyprian's been having a great camp, and Jonathan Cyprian is actually a solid guy. In fact, if I had to choose between him and Marcel Harris, I got a feeling that Cyprian would probably beat him out. But Harris has been with us for a couple of years. He knows the program very well. He's probably ahead of Cyprian on a lot of the learning curve. So there's Cyprian. He's already made clear he is not interested in any practice squad, as the reporters thought the same thing. Jonathan, would you be interested in the practice squad position? And Cyprian said, honestly, no. And so that's it for that. Kerry Hyder. Now, this is Chris Kasuik's guy. He's got a man crush on Kerry Hyder. But if Ronnie Blair comes back, the defensive line, when you look at it, I'm looking at Blair. Contavious Street is looking good this year. I don't know if Hyder's beating him out, but he might be. But that's a draft pick that they picked up in the 4th round, right? So you look at Hyder. Givens is looking good this year as well. I don't think the 49ers want to cut him loose. There's a couple other guys, but for the most part, the regular rotation guys, they're not going anywhere. So Kerry Hyder, if something goes wrong, it'd be nice to have a guy like Hyder in position to bring back in. Ronnie Blair could be I don't know how well he's going to hold up this year on that leg. I don't know how good he's looking on that leg, but the 49ers want to bring him back on day one. What does that mean? They're not telling us everything about that. A lot of guys we got on this team, fam, it seems like it's classified information that they're not willing to share with us. Kyle Shanahan's already said, don't ask me who's, Kyle's got questions you can't even ask him right now. So, Deion Jordan, all these guys come to mind, but when they go for such a deal, and will they say, no thanks, coach, we're going to take our chances out there and see if somebody else can use our talents, but thanks a lot, and goodbye. Because as I say, this year we got the unique situation of this COVID-19 adjustments by the league to boost the chance of keeping the NFL show on the road with stacking frontline talents on each team's practice squad. Now, not necessarily frontline talents, but these guys are serviceable. They're veterans. They've been around the NFL. They know what they're doing. and you want to bring that guy in, probably before you do, you want to bring in a rookie. We got some UFDAs, which, by the way, well, and also, I don't know if it's legal to add incentive pay to practice squad players, but if those type of arrangements are in place to take advantage of, maybe they might do it. The vets signed on this year would be willing to stay on a chance of being a part of a championship team. Is that enough appeal, though, fam? Is my thinking on that. And promoting their own brand and stock in the 2020 season, and maybe wherever you get a ring, you made yourself look good because you got into the games and you made plays. So if you want to leave next year, you go ahead and you jump on another team that may be interested, and they may boost any potential offers that you might get. You know, these are things, but I don't know if they're contemplating or thinking that way. See, because, and fam, here's something else I noticed. As I look down through the UDFAs, a lot of these guys have already Brock Rudder's no longer with us. Salvin Ahmed, he's already been waived, hasn't he? I don't think he's in camp anymore. I think he got waived last week or so. Something we brought somebody else in. JaMychal Hasty's going to make this team one way or the other. He's definitely on the practice squad. I think Josh Hockett is a shoo-in for the practice squad. Chase Harrell, also going to be a practice squad guy. Darian Daniels, some of these guys have already been released. I think Jonas Griffith is gone. Jared Maiden is a very interesting case. Now, he's not a vet, but Jared Maiden is not leaving the 49ers. I'm pretty sure about that. He's a pretty solid player and a good player to look at in the future. And also, he's got the versatility of not only playing safety, but corner as well. I want to see what you got to say about that today. And you know, this is the most bizarre situation. We've never been in this, fam. Normally, every year they go through normal situations. You don't think about who's going to be. There would be no veterans, first of all, to be put on the practice squad. That's been illegal up until this year when they started making these kind of changes. So, Kurt Chameleon, what's up? So glad you do this show. Kurt, my pleasure, man. I tell you, I get such a rush out. I ain't beating you here tonight. And every day, every chance I get. So the pleasure's mine. It's a pleasure to watch, and these haters have no idea what's going on. Besides, we have to provide a place for those bitter haters who have struggled behind the 49ers for years and decades. This is the only outlet they got. We're providing a service. William Roberts, what's up? Tony S., hey, what's up? Hope all is well. Let's go, Niner fam. Thanks, Tony. Back at you, fam. D'Angelo Carter, you're damn right it's about the Super Bowl, and everybody on the NFC's got to go through us, this original kings of the NFC, 49ers for life and representing the empire. Yes! Corey McGlinty, what's up, Corey? Corey, man, I go let me get to Southern Cal, man. You got them big barbecues and stuff that I know you guys. You had some pictures, man. It looks like a good time. Let me know, man. I'll let you know when I come down there so we can do that. Corey McGlinty from Carson, Cali. Ryan, getting close. Oos. Us. You didn't know Oos. That's Samoan for brother. Yeah, brah. And Mr. Block Eyes 22. One love. Ronbo Sports. It's now time to put our depth chart together. It's all about the best players that we can have on the field. Revenge is a must. We are owed that sixth ring. Came that close 6 minutes away. 6 minutes away. That's going to be disturbing forever. And like Kyle Shanahan says, you know what? No matter what you do next, this memory is never going to leave. Even if we get 10 rings, you'll still remember that one we should have got at 6. It was right there for the taking. Alex, get on in here, man.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
All right, Alex, man, I'm looking up and down at the 49ers, and you know what? You do have to prepare for this virus to it could strike at any time, and we saw it with Fred Warner. Alex, have you got a speaker on there? You're getting a feedback.
I'm in my car here. Let me switch it up real quick.
Anyway,
how's that better?
I think you got it. I don't hear that scratching noise. Anyway, with the COVID situation, the NFL has set it up so you've got a surplus of good players that you can bring in instead of having to bring in rookies that probably aren't ready for prime time, right? So I'm thinking, you know, I selected a few guys that I thought might be eligible for that, or the 49ers might approach. Alex, do you have anybody else you're thinking about in this terrible situation?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's a good problem to have to figure out who we want on our practice squad.
Alex, it could be something they continue to adopt, like so many things during this COVID situation, that are going to stay as a part of the regular situation between now and in the future. Could be.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think we're gonna have some pretty good guys on our practice squad. And I don't remember the exact words of or the exact rules of like how other players, because can't other teams kind of snatch up who's on our practice squad?
We can rotate them. I think the rotation, you can put them on your practice squad without having to waive them, because that would be how other teams would pick you up, right? You can go, I think, 2 weeks or something like that. There is a provision in there that you can bring players off your practice squad and put them back in there, as long as you don't go 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I guess, or 3 weeks in a row or something like that. You continue jockey back and forth on the practice squad without teams having the opportunity to pick them up. I think they can still pick them up if they want to, but you got to sign them to your 53 immediately after you pick them up, right? So, yeah, I think that's still out there, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to come down to what guys we want to develop, like to have on our roster, compared to what veterans that we want to. Because I don't know if there's many. I mean, it's hard to tell with like a Kevin White or like a Tavon Austin, like if those guys even want to stay on our practice squad.
Yeah.
Because maybe there's another team that might want to like pick them up. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that all shakes out. Man, part of me kind of wants to see Tavon Austin in this offense, because I just know like he's so quick, and I think that he'd be our best option at punt returner.
Yeah,
because I just think he has that most experience. He has that twitch, and he seems to catch the ball without any like hesitation. I kind of get nervous when I see like Richie James back there, or even like a Trent Taylor. I kind of get nervous, like, oh, what's gonna happen? With Tavon Austin, I feel like it'd be pretty. I wouldn't really worry too much.
Agreed. And every time we play it against Austin, he freaks me out when he gets the ball, because he's got that zip, that twitch you're talking about. He's just so quick to meet that group coming down the field. So, yeah.
Well, he's quick and he's fast, and that's why I think he'd be such a good punt returner. Plus, he can have a few gadget plays on our offense, like on end arounds, or even stretching the ball downfield. I mean, yeah. So
he does that better than he does play wide receiver, actually. Yeah.
Right. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how, because it's probably gonna come down to like our wide receivers and our D line of who's really most important on the practice squad. Because I don't think Cyprian, like he said, he's not gonna want to be on the practice squad. He wants to be on the team. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they pick Harris or if they pick Cyprian, because this dude Harris could play some special teams too, and I don't know if Cyprian's going to want to do that. So,
good point.
I don't know.
How much can you get from Cyprian? That's true. And he'd be like that guy that'd be on standby, because I think, last year we had the situation with Kwaski going down, right? And Marcel came in, and we could have lost that game against the Saints, but due to Marcel's inexperience and his inability to cover. He's gotten better at that since then. But remember, if Spoon doesn't knock Cook out, we could have been dead meat. He was making that connection all day. Oh,
we got lucky that Cook got hurt, and I still don't trust Witherspoon at all. I see a lot of PBUs from him over camp. I don't see a lot of INTs. I'd like to see those turnovers, but
Hey, Alex, are you putting him on the practice squad?
Who, Spoon? Man, cut his ass. No.
We gotta stop picking on these guys.
We really do. Hey, are we gonna kind of talk about Fournette, or is that taboo?
If you want to talk about Fournette, you go right ahead. You like Fournette? Bring a case.
Ronbo, I kind of like the guy, and check this out. I love our running back room, and if we don't get Fournette, it's no skin off my back. But I was just watching some highlights, because I was like, I'll see what he was like last year. This guy had a total of 1,600 yards total, 500 north of 500 coming from the air, and nobody could tackle him on first contact.
He's
Nobody
tough.
was tackling him. So I was thinking, man, if this dude Juszczyk could lead block for him, because a lot of the tackles that he was getting down by were by the safety, because the linebacker would come in and try to hold him, and then the safety would come and clean up. Man, if this guy Juszczyk could come in and block a linebacker, and he would have one-on-one with the safety, safety's not going to tackle Leonard Fournette one-on-one in the open field. There's no way. So I was just thinking, man, this guy could be an asset not only in the passing game, but in the running game, like at the end of games when we need to put the game away. I mean, trying to tackle George Kittle and Jordan Reed and Debo all game and then have to deal with Fournette at the end of the game, running full speed with fresh legs. I could see it playing out in our system.
You know something, like, Alex, you're actually replacing, whose job that is. That's actually Jeff Wilson Jr. Is Fournette a level above Jeff Wilson Jr.? Probably.
I think that's the question you got to ask. That's the question you got to ask right there. Is Jeff Wilson better than Fournette? And, yeah, I don't think he is, Ronbo. I love Jeff Wilson, and I love that he can catch up the backfield, but I think on a pure talent, comparison, I think Fournette might be better than Wilson.
Yeah, he's $4 million. And the Jags will take a draft pick for him.
Well, he's a free agent right now.
Yeah, he is now. They waived him. Yeah, he's 4 to 5 up minimum.
Right.
So I don't know if the 49ers are willing to part with that much more change. When you have a running back room like we have, Alex, at the same time, it takes time to actually get those running backs where they are now that we have in the 49ers room. So kind of makes Fournette not quite as valuable because he'd have a lot to learn at this point.
Right.
Having he been there 2 or 3 weeks or a month ago, it probably would have been a little more feasible. But if you bring him in now, and he's not really a zone stretch kind of guy. He's a north-south runner. But again, that's what Jeffrey Wilson.
Right.
But Wilson actually can run north-south, and he can also run the stretch because he's been with the 49ers long enough. So you have to also look at that before you make that kind of question. Because in answering that question you just said, yeah. So I don't know. It's possible.
And we don't need him. It's not like when you go out and get him. Like, our running back room is stacked. Like, this dude Mostert's a baller. Obviously, I'm just kind of worried, I guess, about like our injury. When our injuries, because McKinnon, he's been injured the last 2 years, and I mean, just who knows? You never know what injuries. So it's always good to have depth. But yeah, he just might be a little too expensive, and it might be too early before the season to learn like the Shanny offense. But I don't know. It's interesting to consider.
And it is. But remember, you've got Hasty, who's been having a great camp, and Ahmed. Both of these guys are quick twitch and Bobby Turner, Kyle Shanahan kind of guys, right? So it's a really funny thing. Actually, Fournette is not a Bobby Turner, Kyle Shanahan guy, but they might say, thinking like you're thinking, we can use him for this kind of thing or this kind of thing, but we want to run around the side. We're still going back to either Mostert or McKinnon or Coleman, right?
Like a one cut. Yeah, for sure. I just think it'd be interesting to have a guy, like a running back, kind of like almost like Derrick Henry-esque, where, it's just hard to tackle him, and he just wears out defenses, and he doesn't have to get that American. That's just how I think about it, look at the big boys we got with Kittle, Jordan, Debo.
Yakman. And Fournette is definitely yak. He's all about the yak. See yak in the dictionary. His picture would be right next to it with about 4 other guys. He's definitely, that's what he is. So
nobody tackles him. It's so nobody. I just imagine him. He would get so many one-on-ones with DBs, and DBs aren't going to tackle him unless they go low. And even if they go low, like even that's like I don't know. It's a linebacker job, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just it'd be cool to think about him in that system, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, we sure will, because 49ers will surprise you in a heartbeat, man. They're bringing them guys who just what? Hey, Alex, good stuff.
I know.
I think we're gonna be back tomorrow. All right.
All right, man. You have a good night, boss.
You too, fam. Night.
All right, later. Night.
And guys, thanks for these contributions. I always love me some contributions, fam. And it's my gear. Hey, so what I was thinking is that I'm sure there's a Seahawk or a Cowboys fan dressed as a Niners, and probably putting his COVID in. Anyway, Can you imagine that being warfare? Belichick and the Patriots would do that. Find some way to isolate the, the whatever it is, and put it in the locker rooms, put it in the drinking fountain somehow. That's so sick. Thanks, girl. I like that. It's entertainment. And hey, Daniel Sanchez. Thanks, Daniel. I'm here from El Paso, Texas. I got to deal with these sorry Cowboy fans every day. Lucky enough, this city is flooded with 49er fans to piss them off every day. I'm starting to wonder, too, Daniel, are there as many 49er fans in Texas as there are Cowboy fans? The numbers have got to be comparable. Because the Texans, nobody talks about the Texans in Texas. A handful, but it's all about Dallas. Hey, Phil, Jill, Phil. Come on in, Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Phil. I'm telling you, Phil, well, we can start talking about the 53, but I'm looking at some of the guys that they may say, listen, we like you, but, we've got our team, and some of those guys we don't want to get rid of. But we'd like to bring you back in a capacity where we can move you in and out the practice squad. Can you go for that? Phil, do you see anything possible like that with some of the guys we got in camp?
Here's how it works. Here's how it works. They're going to cut the guys. They got to clear waivers.
Got to do that.
Right? And if they clear waivers, they can put them in the practice squad.
Yeah.
So if they're on the practice squad, at that point, it's really hard to take players off the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to put them on the 43.
53.
53. No,
55,
46.
isn't it?
Excuse me. 46.
And
They've
got to be game day signs. You can't just put them on the act. Oh, wow.
That's the new rule. So,
that's even more serious.
Exactly. For 4 weeks. For 4 weeks.
You know what? No wonder you don't have to worry about losing players off that squad. Continue.
Exactly. So that's the way it is. So, nobody's going to poach players with that, and they have no film on them. So,
and no time to train with them. They don't know the next team's schemes.
Exactly.
Those guys, somebody's safe on your practice squad for sure.
So, I think, and you can bring them up for 2 weeks without penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So, and play them in the game and put them on the 53.
Mm-hmm.
And you can move them back down after the 2.
Without having to waive them.
You can't
right?
move them back down. So it's a penalty. So, so if you want a guy that you can put up there and bring him up for 2 weeks to replace a player and then move him back down, that's okay. I mean, it's great.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to see that happen probably a number of times this season with a lot of teams, too. That's going to be...
And you can have four veterans. So...
is that the limit, Phil?
I'm looking
you
at
can put 4 vets on your...
being on that veteran list.
Yeah. You got anybody in mind you think they may want to do that with?
With the veterans?
Yeah. And Phil,
TJ
here's the
Beathard.
thing. Some of the guys we already have and have had for years versus some of the guys we just brought in a few weeks ago. What are you thinking?
TJ Beathard.
So I forgot he is a veteran, isn't he?
Well, I mean, come on, you save $1 million and you put him on the practice squad.
Ooh,
you keep him. Nobody's going to pick him up.
I forgot about that contract. You could lessen the money on that contract. I don't know if you'd like that, but still.
Exactly. So you need to think about these things. So I think
because we're
the
budgeting
Niners,
for
they're thinking about these things. So
absolutely. Who else? Anybody else?
It's hard, but
see, because from what you just said, I said Tavon Austin, but Tavon Austin needs to be there to do the punt return or not. So you're not going to bring him in 2 weeks, set him back down, and have somebody else cover the punt return.
Tavon Austin's going to be on the practice squad. Honestly. because I think Trent Taylor's going to return punts. So
You think so? Because I keep thinking, you think they want to, I don't want to put him in harm's way. I don't know how the coaches are feeling about that, but I'd
I
like to
don't
make
think
sure
they care at this point in time.
Yeah. Phil, can we put Dante at that position? Although, Dante
But
blew it.
Dante, the problem with Dante, he drops the ball.
He drops the ball. The greatest in NC2A history. He can't catch the football in the NFL.
Because he's scared.
God.
And Trent Taylor
Not
will
scared.
catch it every time.
Trent's a bad man. That dude has got lots of guts. He's not that big, but
So-
nobody scares him.
No, that's the point. So I think Shanahan is going to go with the guaranteed catch the ball, even though I don't make so many yards and make a big play.
Actually, he was the
I
best we
catch the
had.
ball. I'm not going to fumble it in my own end zone.
Yeah, you know he had the highest
give
average
the ball.
he had the highest average of all the guys we've had return punts, though.
I know that because he catches the ball.
that's step one.
Ronbo.
He is reliable. He is. He's not going to drop
Hey,
it.
I sent your picture in. If you're going to be in
Oh, you really did.
every game that we don't have fans, okay?
Oh God, that's gonna be
You'll be
hilarious.
there.
Oh, thanks, Phil. I that's hilarious. Okay.
I love it, man.
That's funny. Yeah, and everybody sees it. Hey, Ronbo, you were at the game, huh? Yeah, yeah, I was.
Yeah, he's a team. You're at every game anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And that's true too. Phil, anyway.
You're
okay,
emotionally in every game.
Oh, more than that, I tell you, I
I
commit
know.
a lot of feelings in this. Okay, but Tavon also, Phil, anybody that you're thinking of that maybe approached to be lose,
I mean,
spit out
it's
your
gonna
ego and be on this practice squad?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know at this point in time because injuries are, and who's going to be not available. But the thing is, I think, I Cockett, the fullback, I think he's going to make the practice squad.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
You've got a few players that are going to make the practice squad, and they're going to clear waivers because nobody's going to pick them up. And I think there's going to be some contract things like C.J. Beathard. You can clear $1 million. You put him on the practice squad, and you can bring him up for 2 games. No problem. So that's what I think. So they're going to use that practice squad, pretty tightly.
Because I'm just curious as I see how they're going to do this, because this is the first year we've had this type of roster setup. So I'm thinking, man, you know what?
Well,
The
it's the first
49ers, I
time
think
we
they're
had
taking advantage of this 'cause they've
4
already.
veterans that can go on the practice squad.
I'm saying again.
It's the first time you had 4 veterans that can go on the practice squad.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So you got to fill those slots because, I mean, we get injuries every year. The 49ers are smart. They go all running backs since we always run out of running backs each and every year. And if you can find a center anywhere, just go ahead and sign. Ooh, Phil, if there's a center
telling you,
available
that's my
after this
biggest worry.
Saturday that's worth the crap,
That is
you
my
bring him in.
biggest worry, Ronbo,
Who?
is center and right guard.
Oh, yeah. Brunskill can play right guard.
I don't care about wide receiver. I think we're going to be
Oh, no.
fine.
We don't need any more wide receivers
Fine
now.
in every other position. Center and right guard. Because when Gardner went down, Garland went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brunskill moving in, and he can't fill the position. And he was supposed to take the reps at right guard, and it messed us up.
You're not high on what's his name, Compton? I don't know anything about this
No.
guy. Yeah.
No. From what I've seen, his Jets play and everything else,
Yeah.
He's
Hey, that's right. He is from the Jets. Last year, what was the quarterback's name? He hit the dirt more than Russell Wilson did.
Exactly.
I don't know why the 49ers even went and talked to him. I forgot he's from the Jets. Oh, that's suicide. And the center position with Ronis, because Brunskill's not going to. Brunskill can play, but he's not a center.
Well,
So that means,
Brunskill can play guard.
oh yeah,
play
he's
guard,
good at that. He'll be fine.
but he can't play center. And Garland, I hope he's healthy.
They won't tell
That's
you.
my biggest worry.
They won't tell you. It's like I said. I posted that one today. I said, Garland's status is like classified. They're not even going to talk to us about it. They haven't said a word about that.
I'm worried about that. That's
All
my
right.
biggest worry. That's my biggest worry.
So we, man, that's
All right, Ronbo.
The center's not ready to go. We're in trouble. All right, fam. Tell you what, we'll see
All
tomorrow.
right, man.
I think because the media usually do it on Wednesdays. That's what happens. All right, Phil.
Well, tomorrow we'll know the. Oh, by the way, Kenyon Drake was at practice yesterday
Yeah, I know.
with a boot on his leg.
Oh,
So whoever talked about Arizona saying he's going to play, if you have a boot on your leg, a Watson boot,
that was
there's a big
laser.
problem there.
Phil, I was laser US. A Cardinal fan that's been annoying me for the last 2 years. That was him who said Drake is fine.
We don't know what he's talking about, even on his own team.
Oh,
All right,
I do love it. There you go,
All right,
laser.
Ronbo.
Night, Phil. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Take care.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. There you go. Laser US. Guy used to creel me, but he'd post up his roster and everything, looking down at this is 2 years ago, like he's got a team that's going to just steamroll the 49ers. And we know what happened. Although I got to give respect, though. That is the toughest matchup in NFC West that we had last year. The Hawks were a tough matchup, but the Cardinals really did fight you from first quarter to fourth quarter. Hey, Johnny V, thanks, fam. Always appreciate that. Thanks, John. So yeah, I tell you, man, just four slots. That's something I wasn't clear on. 4 places where you could put veteran players if they'll accept it. On.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
D, man, I'm looking at this practice squad situation before we start talking about the 53, just because that'll help make the 53, because now you know who's going to get, you have an idea who you want to cut, and who's going to make the practice squad, and who's going to be kept around on that practice squad for strategic reasons. D, I know you got some angles on this. What are you thinking here?
Well, the hard part for us is going to be which running back are we going to keep on the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to stash any of our backs on that practice squad. You're just not. You know what I mean? Like, that's the hard part here. How do we stash all those backs that we have because they're all that damn good? You know what I mean? So I'm trying my damnedest. I'm like trying to think, like, who the fuck are we going to stash?
Oh, hey, D, do you know or not if Ahmed, did he sign on with somebody else yet?
I haven't seen him sign on with anyone else yet. No, not as of more recently.
Right.
But I know that he's we cut him because he had fumbling problems. You know what I mean?
Was he out there fumbling? See, I didn't hear about that.
He was.
All right.
That man wasn't going to have that shit, man. You know how he is.
He ain't playing that no more. Not after Williams.
Not after, yeah. Look at what happened with Matty B. Let Matty B have that shit.
Matty B.
You know.
Matty B was badass. You can't hold on to the ball. I'm sorry. You got to go. Yeah. Shanahan's hard about that.
So it's just, it's you got to be able to do what you got to do and, be able to keep things going in the right direction. So it's a little hard, but we'll make it through. I think you'll probably see a couple of guys stashed on the practice squad, just more so, probably just your basic guys. From what I've been hearing, man, it kind of sounds like Juwan Jennings might wind up getting stashed on the practice squad because they say he didn't have such a fantastic camp, which was killing me because I'm like, what? I thought Jennings was doing pretty cool, I didn't think he was having too bad of a camp.
D,
when it came
do
to
you
that.
do you know what? Let me run this by you real quick. Was he competing with Dante Pettis? Because I think that was where Shanahan was
Of
thinking.
course.
The rest of the guys were safe.
Of course
But
he
this
was.
matchup here, I'm going to put Dante versus Juwan. Whichever one shows you the most in camp, I'm going with that. But every time you look at any pictures and photos of camp, it's Jennings. And then you look at it's Dante. I thought they were neck and neck.
Yeah, I mean, but the one thing that you can say about Dante, and even though I crack on him and I talk crap about him most of the time, is that he does have the experience in the system, and
Yes,
as well
that's
he
the
does. The guy
edge.
does have the athleticism. You know what I'm
Again,
saying?
the
Dante is not the issue with Dante has nothing at all to do with talent.
no
It has to do with power and
heart.
character and heart. And if you can even do that or not. You know what I mean? If you can do that and you got enough heart, you're good. But if you can't, then that's your fault. You know
D,
what I'm saying? You got
it
to be able to
it
do
was
that.
it was just like I said, a challenger versus a champion. You've got to knock the champion out to get the title. I think
Right.
Jennings wasn't able to knock out the champ. you
Yeah,
know,
he couldn't do it.
I think you're right.
He
I
couldn't
think
do it.
Jennings
And
is
I
practice
think,
squad.
yeah, and to be honest with you, when it comes down to everyone else, I mean, we're going to stash a bunch of those D linemen on the practice squad because our starters will be back for the beginning, of the season and everything. So,
Mm,
we're going to be good with that. I'm
mm,
not worried too much about all of that.
mm.
So we'll
And
make sure that we staff a bunch of
and
those
D, I
dudes
want to
and
add to that. You can
well,
add two extra guys on your playing roster, your game day roster, right? One of them needs to be an
oh
offensive lineman, though, from what I understand. So we're going
oh
to keep all those
yeah,
guys as well.
yeah.
So they're not a practice squad candidates.
Yeah, but I mean, like we'll figure it out. I think that when the final cuts are made, there aren't going to be any actual surprises. It's just going to be dudes that we automatically thought were going to wind up making the squad.
You
That's
think
just
so?
how it's going to work. Yeah,
I,
I don't
I,
think we're going to have any real issues
no,
or
no
anybody
real
over there.
shocker this year.
Nah. We already know what we want. We already know who we have. It's just too obvious for us to be making the situation any more different than it already is. We have better situations than we did in previous years. We just want everybody to be fully healthy as much as possible.
Mm,
And I think that's going to happen this year. I don't see us taking a step back. I see us taking a step forward, when it comes to this stuff because we have our own situation where we're going to make sure that we, take it to the Super Bowl and nothing less.
yeah.
Everybody's focused on that, man. And shout out to Eric Armstead. Bro is so smart. If y'all don't give Eric Armstead some credit, man, that dude's smart as hell.
I've
That
been
man told you to
3 years
get in
giving him
touch with
credit.
your
I've been
council
trying to
members,
tell people. Yes.
and he is one of those people where he's been giving back to the kids in the community for
I love
years,
him.
ever
Love
since he
him.
got here. Ever since he got here, this has never changed.
Like you
Armstead has
say,
never wasted
indeed,
on a
make
game. He's
make sure to
always been that dude.
spotlight that point before he got the big bucks. He was doing
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing that, man. He's always been a big person for when it comes to um, education and everything like that. And the stuff he was saying is true, man. Yeah, all that stuff he was saying, that's very true, bro. Like I know those statistics, and
Mm-hmm.
you see that right then and there, man. You don't get the same kind of funding for inner city schools. You don't get the same kind of funding for all these guys, man. Like you just don't. And
That's
that's just how it works,
it's
So
one of the things
yeah, I understand where
about
he's coming from with
zoning
it.
that I don't like.
Oh
But don't let me get
yeah,
in
man. A lot
politics.
of things.
Mm.
The one thing I can say is I'm glad to have somebody like that on our team, and we
Mm-hmm.
got a bunch of dudes like that. Quan gives back to his community when he can. There's
Mm-hmm.
other guys that give back. So it's always gonna be that way, man. We're gonna have that, as far as
Mm-hmm.
our mentality. And the one thing that I can say that
Yeah.
other people can't say as far as fans is
Mm-hmm.
at least my owner gives a damn about the black community because all the other owners ain't done much of nothing. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
done much of nothing, ain't said nothing, ain't doing it. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, they was talking about where all the owners, where all the, what you talking about? Jed York been doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Armstead, everybody know what's up. Like we ain't, we not worried about that. They're all doing well.
That's
Everybody's
true.
doing that
That's
thing.
true. Jed has
We're
always
good.
been, because the NFL owners are pretty much an affluent group that not like to really get involved with social matters and issues. It's very interesting that Jed has always been like that, you know? Hey,
He
but
has
what?
because he knows where he's at. You got to think about it, man. You spent all that time in San Francisco. You guaranteed you are going to run into some people in the disenfranchised community, and you're going to have to make sure that you appreciate them and you show them love. Because if you don't, you will wind up in a situation where those dudes will not want to mess with you. They are not going to like you, and they will let you know. Believe you me, them cats in the Bay ain't no joke. They ain't playing around here. You know what I'm saying? You get the rappers, you get all the people in the Bay. And it's just a situation where we're going to have such a fabulous year that it's going to blow people's minds, man. They're not going to be ready for that. People are going to look and be like, man, we expect the 49ers. Like, I've seen a lot of us, like, 12-4 and stuff like that. Like, are you serious? Do you understand what we're doing? 12-4? Like, what the hell? Calm down,
Hey,
people.
D,
You
it
know?
gets worse. Some analysts have already said 49ers are good for 10 this year, but that's okay. They said
Oh, yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that worse than last year. D,
For
we're out of
me,
time.
oh,
Finish that
yeah,
up, though,
baby.
real quick.
Oh yeah, real quick for me. Let's just get to the playoffs. I don't care if as long as when we make the playoffs,
Right?
we going back to that Super Bowl. We are going to Tampa. It ain't gonna be Tom Brady. It's gonna be us versus 2B and now. Will says it the best all the time.
Will!
And that's what it's gonna be, baby.
Will! Look, biggest form of flattery, Will. Bringing your stuff in here.
Always,
D, I'm going to see
every
you tomorrow.
day.
All right,
All
fam.
right, brother. Have a good night. Love you, man.
Love you back, fam. Have a good night, Will. D, look, see, Dion's talking like Will, and I call him Will. All right, Dion.
All right.
Hey, Guerrero! Oh, gosh, I love it. Guerrero, thanks, fam. As I'm competing with John V. Love your show, Ronbo. Thanks, guys. And IB.
Rambo, what's
IB.
going on?
Oh,
What's going
man.
on?
Sitting here thinking, man, I'm thinking, what players would put their pride behind them? Because when I heard Cyprian say that presser, when somebody asked him, would you be interested in taking a practice squad position if Kyle Shanahan should offer it? He thought, I love the pause because I knew he was going to say no. To be honest, no, I wouldn't be interested in that. And that's good. I'm glad he told the truth.
Right.
Maybe Kyle saw that, and they're not even going to ask Cyprian about it. Just if they're going to waive him, just waive him. There's no place on this roster for all these talents. IB, but I'd like to see if we could store them somewhere and bring them back in if we need them. Because God knows, Kowalski goes down every year for at least a little amount of time.
Right.
He said he played hurt part of the season because he was inexpendable. And I think he came back a little too early after the Saints game. He wasn't ready, but Harris was killing us, so they'd bring him back in.
Yep.
Marcel's probably better this year, so maybe that's going to be a problem. But still, Cyprian is good, but he gets hurt a lot too.
He was the one I was talking about yesterday. Now I'm not really too sure about his injury past or anything
It's
like
not
that.
good.
But
He gets hurt.
But what I will say is the good thing about that is his position is different from Jaquaski. They do play safety, but they play different. Where Turt plays in the box, and I don't believe Cyprian will be. I believe Cyprian will be the more high end free safety like Tavarius Moore or Jimmy
Well,
Ward
Jimmy,
type
I thought
position.
I thought he carried enough size for the box. Maybe not. I thought that
Well,
was his thing.
I think it's about his skill level and his familiarity with the system.
He played with the Jags.
Exactly. He spoke very well on the system and how much it's evolved. I think the thing about that is our system has evolved, and we're kind of looking forward to seeing what we do with a third safety in the formation, or the dime coverage a little bit. So that plays a big role. If he's willing to take a role on second or third squad, maybe coming off of the practice squad a couple weeks here and there or whatever. But like I said, I don't think he would be. I don't think he would be behind even Marcel Harris, because I think it would be up in the air. Is he better for the position, or is T Moore actually ready to step into to that position? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think.
Timor's he's going to be back with he's Jimmy's. He is a free safety. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah. They both play that position, but I'm saying so does Cyprian, and I'm saying when the time comes, they have to make a decision on who is more skillful at the position. Is because Cyprian looks like he's ready right now, whereas Tavarius, we're kind of testing the temperature a little bit, seeing each year, is he ready? Is he ready? He's a great spy in coverage, but this kid has years behind as far as experience, and you can't, and I don't want to put a knock on Tavarius, but I think Tavarius is more of a team player where he plays special teams, he plays cornerback positions. You know what I'm saying? He plays multiple positions in the secondary. Where I don't think it's so much about Cyprian. I think it's about him. Is he willing to stay flexible? And if that's the case, then we got a lot of dynamic going on that defense, because then we can drop down an extra safety to play a linebacker position, where then if Fred isn't available here and there, and that's the communication you need. That's what we want. We want guys coming off the bench who know who our cornerbacks are, know what our defensive line's capable of, not just coming in playing a specific scheme, because that hurt us with Mosley. If guys ain't truly familiar, they're gonna get caught up here and there by veteran quarterbacks. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Cyprian, you're right. Cyprian, he's a tweener actually. He's 6'1", goes 211. So he's not as light as Tavarius, just slightly heavier. I don't know about his speed, though. His coverage ability, he does seem like somewhat of a ball hawk. He had a couple of snatches in the last couple of weeks in practice. So we'll see.
Well, you think about it. You didn't hear about him catching interceptions, during the season last year or the last time he was on the field. As soon as he steps into our defense and we put him back into a scheme he's familiar with, he's immediately excelling. So we have to take it under consideration, because he and the coaches are doing something right together. So
he might make the team.
And that's an aspect. That's the aspect we were looking for.
Yeah, I'm putting him on the practice squad, but he might still make the team. I don't know how many safeties we plan on carrying. Moore and Ward, they've got that sewed up. Kowalski's got it sewed up. Maiden, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure exactly if it's going to be the.
I think he's on the practice squad.
Yeah,
or he may be cut.
Yeah,
yeah.
He has to be cut first anyway to be able to make the practice squad.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna see.
I think the last two pressers, both coaches, Saleh and Kyle, have both mentioned about these players that we've kind of picked up in the off season, about the flexibility. Are they willing to stay on the practice squad? And it doesn't mean that they won't play. So they're all of these players are being addressed, because when you look at it offensively. We got. If we go as deep as Harrell as far as tight end on the practice squad, if not, somebody else is going to pick him up, because the guy is also he also plays defense. You know what I'm saying? So we got players that we got talent. We got talent on the team. So, like I said, it'll be interesting, but it's up. I think our coaching staff and our front office has proven to have our players back, and our players also show the same thing for our organization. So we're gonna lose a couple guys here and there, but like Dion said, I don't think it'll be too many surprises unless we see some true changes on offense, because defensively we've shown that defense is a priority on this team.
Because but you know what? Last year, were we surprised by anybody who got cut? I'm trying to remember. Did anybody leave? I thought the edge rusher that they cut last year, I thought he had it
More.
made, actually. Yeah, Demontre.
More or yeah, but you know what? A lot of the people that we cut last year, we brought back.
We
I
brought
mean,
Demontre back.
even Jordan Matthews, yeah, even
Yeah,
from
Jordan
Jordan
Matthews.
Matthews. But I will say this before you let me go. You know, I want to go back on something that Dion say, and I want to agree to disagree to one aspect because a lot of these guys, we weren't even this year. We weren't a lot of callers, a lot of people in the chat, even myself, and I love to see the potential of Jet McKinnon and Trent Taylor. You know, we knew there was going to be one of these guys that may not make it, whether it be Hurd or Taylor or McKinnon. But if we can get those two guys back, man, that and even Pettis on a positive playmaking point of view, man, our season has to be better than last year because now we're not going. Yeah, we're not looking in the 8th week for Emmanuel Sanders anymore. You know what I'm saying?
And we shouldn't be in that position again.
And
These
Trent
guys gotta
Williams,
step up.
we didn't have Trent Williams last year neither. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with a lot of what Dion say, but I agree to disagree to that aspect because we didn't have this much support going into it last year. So we got a lot. These guys got a lot of decisions to make, man. I wouldn't want their job this week, that's for sure.
And you got to go tell the guy that's done a good job. There's going to be some guys who did a good job in this last few weeks, too.
Hey,
and you got to tell them, you know what, you're a good ball player, but some guys just have seniority over you.
I said this weeks before, though, Ronbo. Who do you know that has played with or for Kyle Shanahan that hasn't begged this dude back for a job years later? It doesn't matter if we cut. It doesn't matter if we cut him this week. We can cut him this week, but I guarantee he's got something that's gonna bring him back by midseason. He's got something. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, his system is fun to play in. Everybody loves playing for Kyle.
Yeah.
Look, somebody mentioned Taylor, Joshua Charles, Taylor Gabriel. Don't count him out Saturday afternoon because. Well, like you're saying,
he's the only one we haven't seen, though.
The thing is, though, he's another Kyle guy. And Kyle's thing, I don't have to tell him anything but the verbiage has changed and things like that, and he's ready to go. Because if you don't want Tavon Austin, you're Taylor Gabriel.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I was just about to say. I think we really see something in Tavon Austin. I'm hoping we do because he fits the same size and skill set as Ayuk and Debo.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if we could, I think that's a plus right there, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Taylor Gabriel's he's younger, he's a little quicker, but he's 5'8". He's 5'6". He's small, Kyle, man.
He loves them tiny, quick dudes, though. I mean, we gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
I appreciate it, man. As always, y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Abby. Appreciate you too, fam. Good night, guys.
All right.
The kids, because I know y'all watching.
Yeah. All right. Night.
Yeah. Hey, and Johnny V, come on in, man.
Ronbo, my man, what's cracking?
Hey, Johnny, man. You know, it's fun to speculate and be able to say Saturday evening when we get back on, we'll be saying things like, look at that. I knew he was going to make it. I didn't know he was going to make the full 53, but my God, dang! You know, these are the fun part. And who's on the practice squad? You usually find out about an hour or so after the cuts, right? 2 hours, because they do that quickly. Because if you wait, you lose those guys to another PC or practice squad. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting to see who clears waivers and who the 49ers approach. Because, John, when you got 4 slots in this particular year, you use those 4 spots in the practice squad, and you explain carefully what you're going to do to that player so he's not insulted and not shamed, and you come on back and listen, I got a plan for you. And the thing is, I'm trying to get everybody I can get on and keep them on this team. So are you okay if I'm going to waive you, and then we're going to bring you back as soon as you clear waivers, and we got an incentive plan, we got this, we got that. Look, I got it in writing right here. Take a look, and I'm going to call you back. Is that okay with you? You know, I know they're making those deals already. But John, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, Ronbo, I don't want talented players to be offended if they're stashed, because in often cases, man, they're a play away.
Yeah.
They're a play away from getting out there. So
all game long every week, John.
Right. So it's like, if Cyprian is stashed and he's offended, then I don't understand, brother. I mean, why would you? So where would you prefer to be? You want to go play for a booty team that doesn't have any aspirations to make it into the postseason? Or do you just want to understand that, like, you just came into this group and there are players that have earned the spot before you? I don't give a damn how strong camp is. Mm-hmm. You're not going to beat out Mosley. Try to beat out Spoon. We have talent all across the board, and just because you have roots deep with Sulla doesn't mean that you rise to the ranks. You know, it just
because things have
like changed. You're a play away, bro. Just be with the winning team and deal with it. So that's all. I don't really. I'm having a hard time understanding this new. The 53 Ronbo, how many would you get a veteran and then you got to have a lineman and a veteran, or you could have two veterans. I'm completely messed up on this.
It'll become clear. We just need you need some reps every week as to what they're doing, because it'll be on the screen. They'll probably say the 49ers have 4 veterans on the practice squad. Then they'll list the names, especially if they're notable players, right? They'll list the 4 names that are available for the rest of the season. And tonight, Jonathan Cyprian's being deployed due to Kwaski Tart having sustained. I don't talk those things into existence. Let's use somebody else for an example. Tavon Austin will be in the game tonight. Dante Pettis seems to have came up with a stinger in the last few minutes just the other day. So Tavon Austin will be back for return duties as he's sitting back in the backfield now as you're watching. And then they go right into the game. And he'll say, see, that's what we're talking about. That's what we were talking about. We got a quality talent to bring in to fill a void that had already had a first-string player. See, these are precautions. You could win games or lose games just like that, John. You don't have a guy that's going to come in there and bring the same heat as a veteran. Rookies can do a good job, but they're not going to do the same thing most of the time, unless you're Nick Bosa.
Yeah. I mean, I follow. I get it. It got confusing this year, Ronbo. No, I mean, even you have a hard time following it, right?
Oh, God, yeah. Because Phil educated me today. So, I didn't.
Yeah, I was listening to Phil, but even he had me confused. Yeah.
Some of the things are still the same. Fundamentally, it's still the same system, because the fact is you can't cherry pick somebody else's practice squad unless you're going to sign them to your active roster. And a lot of teams are going to hesitate on that, and specifically for the reasons that Phil indicated. You bring this kid in, he's part of your team now. You can't stash him on your practice squad. You got to use him. So who's going to do that? I got no film. I haven't been training him. What am I going to do here? Wasted roster spot.
And when these guys clear waivers, Ronbo, we can grab them again, or they can be taken away from us. If they're taken away from us, they have to go on the 53.
No. You don't. Anybody you put on our practice squad, you do not have to. They can come in 2 weeks at a time, and you do not have to. They don't have to clear waivers. You can put them right back on the practice squad. Now that hasn't been the case in the past, so that's why that's a plus. That gives you a reserve of players for up to 2 weeks. So if somebody gets injured,
yes,
you bring in this kid and let him take over. The other guy heals up. He's ready to go in week 3 of that time period, and you're good to go.
Yep. Ronbo makes me happy. I love it. I love it, Ronbo, my man.
Hey,
I'm getting pumped, brother.
And John, this is why I didn't understand the Hawks picking up DJ Reed, and he's hurt. I said, what?
Yep.
That's hilarious. As soon as we got rid of DJ, they picked him up, and they took up a roster spot with him. Now, I don't know if they're going to cut him, but that would be just something the rest of the league couldn't forgive. You brought DJ Reed to Seattle. You tried to pick his brain, and it probably didn't work. And so you said, well, we're going to cut him. Well, what'd you bring him over for? Listen. Stop. You guys that's no class. That is just, so that's why I don't understand that move at all. So if you're going to pick up players, you need to use them or something. So we're going to see.
Oh my man, Ronbo, I'm getting pumped, dude. All this every night with you is getting me more and more excited. Oh my God,
It's going to be a
brother.
great season, John. Tell you, man.
Good deal, man. All right, Ronbo. Well,
John, be back tomorrow. I think the media is going to be allowed in tomorrow. See what they got to report, and we'll go on from there. Otherwise, we're going to start talking about the 53. All right?
I wake up every morning that the media can report with my fingers crossed.
I know.
Ronbo.
Don't tell us about anybody hurt.
And
No.
that's all I do, dude. I just cross my fingers and I just wonder what the hell will I know? What knowledge will I gain by 4 p.m. today?
Oh.
But yeah, Ronbo, for sure. I'll see you tomorrow, my man.
All right, John. Looking forward, fam. Night, John.
All right, my man. Brother, I love you. I love the show, Ronbo. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate you for all you do, my man.
Thanks,
all right.
John.
Take care. Good night.
Night. Hey, Guerrero, I see you, man. Guerrero, thanks for that contribution. He says, do you still believe in Pettis? Because I don't trust him and his cats. And you know what? Pettis has shown he does have a pulse. This is why I'm kind of interested. Is this sudden change of personality, is this going to carry right into the season? Guerrero, if Dante is the main man against the Cardinals, I'm going to lose my mind. I may have to make a wager and do something I wouldn't want to do. Now, I'm not drinking mule pee or anything like that, but I tell you, I got to do something because, man, this Dante, come on with it then. Rick.
What's going on, sir?
Oh, Rick, man, I'm sitting there trying to figure out who are the guys that the 49ers are going to try to stash and before starting to look at the 53, because that's going to directly impact what you come up with the 53, who you keep in the stash, and then go from there. Because, man, this is going to be hard to do this year. I haven't counted all the guys who got a defensive line, but most of the guys are coming back hard this year. Everybody's a man on a mission. And when you look at Givens, you look at Streets out there looking good this year, about time. The rest, Solomon T's come out of a bag all of a sudden. He's looking a lot better. And you got your regular rotation of the front four. I mean, it's fun to do this year. How many guys we keeping? But who's going to be that practice squad as I'm thinking right now? What do you think, Rick?
Oh, man. I know I'm possibly looking at Cyprian, Jonathan Cyprian for sure.
Remember, he said he's not going to do it.
Man, I mean,
they might talk him into it, though.
Like the other caller said, dude, we're so advanced from where we were before, where we were kind of overpaying, like a Pierre Garçon and other players. It's like, dude, we have a good team now. We're not paying for Malcolm Smith anymore and Cassius Marsh and all them those players.
Those sad times.
You know what I'm saying? All those players.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we really were a dumpster team at that point. So we really had to kind of overpay just to get anybody in. But now we are that team. We're young. We're hungry. And so, if you don't make it, that's just
no shame.
That's
good point.
No shame because because we are. Look, we are a good team. We're the defending NFC champs right now. So you know what I'm saying? So it's supposed to be hard to make it on their squad, period. It's not supposed to be a cakewalk. So, at the end of the day, if they see some value in you, they're like, okay, we understand that maybe you couldn't crack the 53, but see if we can stash you on the practice because, with any season, injuries happen. Like last year, we got hit with a slew of injuries on the offensive line or something like that, or even secondary. So, you never know. So, it's like, if you stay ready and then if you're on the squad and we do what we need to do, you still get a ring. Don't you still get a ring if you're on the squad?
Absolutely.
So it's like, dude, why would you not? I get it. Everybody has an ego. Everybody wants to play, whatever. But at the same time, you have to be honest. Right now, you can go to a lot of teams, and unless you're just going to a straight trash team, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. Exactly, or the Jets, something like that. But you know what I'm saying, or the Raiders. But it's going to be a lot of the better teams Yeah, the Faders are trash. With Derek Carr, that's another story in itself. Old trash, trash team. But I mean, most established or up and coming NFL rosters or playoff rosters, whatever, or have aspirations for a Super Bowl, they're gonna have pretty much their team set. And so, if you think that you're gonna come in at the last minute after being cut or waived or whatever you say, no, they're pretty much okay. Oh, you got waived. You can come on our thing and maybe fill the practice squad or whatever the case may be. But if you're on a good squad or going to a good squad, they're not going to have any room for you. They're pretty much not going to have it.
And also, you run the risk of not being employed this year if you say, no, thanks, man, I'll get on with somebody else. You might not.
You know what, Ronbo, my bad. I forgot. There is a team that loves to get our players. That old trash Seattle, the most Seattle Seahawks. Those Seagulls, they love to poach. Whatever if anybody we put on, we waive whatever. Next year, I promise you can look an hour later, they've been picked up by Seattle. Dude, you can't mimic the formula.
And Rick,
doesn't matter. You're still trash.
Before Hawks fans start saying, how about you guys? Richard Sherman? Okay, we wait at least until they're free agents. We don't wait. We're not looking at the practice squad or everybody that got cut. That's a big difference.
First of all, exactly. First of all, Richard Sherman, he's established. He's a Pro Bowler and All Pro and everything else.
That's right.
We're talking about if we put somebody on the we could. I promise you right now, I almost feel like we could cut Dante Pettis and he'll go over there and start right now.
Tonight.
I honestly feel like that. He can go over there and he'll be a starter week one for the old trash squad. Because, I mean, they love to get whatever we throw away, we waive, whatever. They always looking to poach it. But it's like, dude, you can't mimic what we have here. We have a better offensive play caller. We have better defense. We have the players. We're just better. We're just better than you, period. We're no longer worried about the 12th man and all that bull crap anymore. Man, get out of here. And then this year, what's even crazier, they didn't even have the quote-unquote 12th man crap that they normally say. So we're going to see how much of his actually volume being pumped into the stadium with your old trash squad. But anyways, look, our 53. Whoever makes our 53, if they say they want to put you on the practice squad, take it as a sign of respect. Because trust me, you're on a Super Bowl winning team, dude. So just stay ready, get the reps in training camp, whatever. Because I mean, it wouldn't even surprise me, although I like him, maybe even Juwan Jennings. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he don't make it, and I heard it. And I mean, I've been hearing good things about him, but I mean, listen to Grant Cohn. He's like, I don't know, whatever the case may be. But you never know. But at the same time, dude, get better at your craft, whatever players are. Just get better at your craft. Continue to work every day, and then if we need you, you can step up and fill a role or a hole that we need right now. Because I mean, we saw it last year, and I mean that's just every year. There's always injuries are always going to happen at some point in the season,
and
where a person got to come to fill in for a little bit or whatever the case may be. Now, if you want to talk about somebody, I need to know why they're still on the squad. C.J. Beathard, why are you still here? We trashed Dante, but why is C.J. Beathard here?
I'm convinced that C.J. has some kind of. He has
dude, he must
some
have.
Or
man, he has some secrets. He has some secrets on people because I promise you, as much as we give Dante Pettis grief, but at least Dante, if people be honest, Dante's rookie season, he showed a lot of promise, and that's why everybody got so hyped about him. And last year he went into a sophomore slump, so who knows? He rebound. But look, we've given CJ several times. We talking about the first year when we got Jimmy G to the second year when Jimmy G got hurt in Kansas City. We gave him a couple games to play, and no, sir. No, sir.
Rick,
no, sir.
You heard what Kyle said in his presser last week about somebody. Presser did ask him about the competition going on between CJ and Mullins, And it wasn't meant to be that kind of question. I remember he made a mistake, and Kyle says, right now they're even up. Oh, Kyle!
What?
Kyle,
No,
stop!
come
Come
on.
on, Kyle!
No,
They're not.
No,
Dang.
not at all. No, not at all.
Not even close.
At all. No, not at all. I mean, Kyle, I know you said you liked him because you felt he was the best pure thrower, but no, sir. No, sir. There's a reason we got Jimmy G. Trust me, if we didn't have Jimmy G, we would.
Mullins would definitely beat CJ out. And CJ, yeah.
Man.
So, yeah. But Kyle's going to run that narrative. And this is the last year he's going to do it, though, because CJ now, this is his last season, I think. I'm pretty sure it is.
Well,
so, yeah.
Well, like I said before, he can go and help out with the practice squad because he's sure enough, whatever the case may be. But, look, he's the one I would be seriously shocked if he makes the 53 because I'm like, really?
No, we can't
I'd
afford
rather
it.
have, I think Nick Mullins and Jimmy G.
No, Mullins has definitely made the squad, but CJ is definitely he'll be waived and he'll be signed to the practice squad for the final season. That's kind of sad, though. You spent your entire 4 years on the practice squad. Well, except for 1 year, the opening year.
No, because I mean, he played Jimmy G's first year.
3 years,
and he played the second year.
Did he?
But I mean, obviously last year he didn't play because I mean we didn't need him to, and to be honest, we didn't want him to. So it's like, dude, no, sir.
He's just never active. That's right. All right.
No.
Well, Rick, we're gonna go. I'll be back tomorrow to see what else develops in Camp Santa Clara, the adventures of the 49ers. We'll see what they do tomorrow. All right,
absolutely, sir. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Have a good evening. Social distance, not a faithful. We're going to Super Bowl 55. We're winning it. Jimmy G, Super Bowl MVP, and Kyle Shanahan, Coach of the Year. Man, you heard it first. Not a faithful, not an out.
Night, Rick. In fact, was that ESPN that I saw Jimmy G's actually projected to pass for 4,100 yards this year. Elliot!
Oh, shit, I got to get right in here. What's up, Ronbo?
And Elliot, what have you done? Your microphone is crystal clear tonight.
You know what? I turned everything down and everything like that, man. That's how it is. And I got some new earphones. So,
all right.
You know.
All right.
How
Elliot,
are
come
you,
on in
man?
here, man. Because we're trying to figure out.
How you feel?
I feel awesome, man. No, I'm sorry. Ever since Quan came, when people ask you that, you're feeling legendary. I love me some Quan. That is a fun dude, man.
Me too. Look, I love me some. You know why? The pads is popping with Quan Alexander, man. Like, he brings that whole energy. That was something we was missing last year when he went out. Like, I felt like tight ends wouldn't have done the things that they done, especially along with Kawhi Tart. I understand what his significance was, but it took for them to go out for me to understand how important they was to our defense. And I like I told you, look, Fred Warner and Alexander was covering up for who that third linebacker was, because if you got past one, you wasn't getting past the second.
That's right.
And if Kawhi Alexander was bringing the hit.
You got to have those dudes.
Every time he came to hit somebody.
Elliot, remember that year, 2013, we lost Willis? You lose a little bit of a little energy when you lose a Willis. You know, because we didn't have anybody who could sound off like that, man. And that's why I'm saying Quan all year long is what you want to have. We had him last, couple of games in the playoffs, but we should have Quan all year. We may not have lost to a couple of teams had Quan been on him. We didn't need to lose. Definitely didn't need to lose to Atlanta. And probably wouldn't have lost against Baltimore. See, we should have been 15-1.
No, we wouldn't have, because they wouldn't have got past him. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you this, Ronbo, and this is my feeling. Two people, as much as I love what Nick Bosa has done for our team, I think that, I'm going to say three people. And as much as I love what Richard Sherman has brought to our team, Quan Alexander brought a different element that pumps up everybody on the freaking team to make a tackle. Not only that, to crush somebody when you make a tackle, okay? It's not just making the tackle. It's with the presence you bring when you make this tackle. I think that to me, he was our most important energy player to make us the defense we actually wanted to be. That's just my perspective on the whole thing. I hated when we lost him. I was like, oh my God, look, this guy brings everything that we need. Like, if you want to get juiced up to play defense, shut up. You see Kawhi, I'm talking about kids, they too loud,
I know.
But you see him make a tackle, you want to make a tackle for him.
Yes,
and show him, yo, I can pop somebody the same way you did.
There you go.
Like,
you
oh
lead
my
the
God,
parade of fiends.
Now,
the only thing I do hate,
heroes,
though, we changed the name.
Go ahead.
We're no longer the Hot Boys. I don't know if the 49ers, I don't know if the Cowboys sent some death threats or what, but we are now the Block Boys.
I don't care about no name we give ourselves. At the end of the day, you know
like
what we are?
Yeah.
We the killers at the end of the day. We the ones that will hurt your feelings, okay? We will put you out the game if you mess around. We got all our players. Ain't nobody stopping us with all our players, man. Y'all should hope D4 be hurt. Y'all should hope even Kawan Williams is hurt. Y'all should hope that. Because without that, your slot receiver ain't getting nothing. Your man's on the strong side of the field ain't getting nothing. You can't go on the weak side because here come Bosa, crazy ass, doing what he do and so forth. You can't you should hope we are hurt. Because if Kawan Alexander is out there on that field, somebody is going to get hit really hard. Really hard. Not just hit. They're going to get hit really hard. And it's going to change the way they think out there on that field.
Yeah.
Look, he changes so much. That's why I'm praying he stay healthy. I love D Ford. I love what he do for us. I think that he's very valuable for us. But of all people, I just need Kawan Alexander to stay healthy. Shut your damn mouth. I need him to stay healthy. So I'm sorry, man. Look, I'm sorry. My son is very animated.
We're loving it.
And he watches the show after we talk, and he's very exhilarated and stuff, and he loves to see this. But right now, he got to understand, just be quiet, sir. Stand back and be quiet. Let your dad talk, and you can see everything you want to see after the fact. Yeah. But, man, I need Kawan Alexander on that field. Ain't no running with him.
And
that's what happened with our run game defense. When he gets as long as he's on the field, it's over.
Elliot, try to think of somebody who brings the same mentality on that field. There is no other player that brings that kind of juice.
There isn't.
It really isn't.
There isn't. I'm sorry. That's why I'm telling you. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, I love what Sherman does for the defense and so forth. I love what D4 does for the defense and so forth. But at the end of the day, this boy brings such a juice.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what though?
A juice.
That means you got a guy on both the second, you got linebacking crew and behind him you got, because the front line don't need no firing up. That front line four, them dudes are insane. I love the way they take and dissect and cut a quarterback up. Oh, that's fun to watch.
He makes a future Hall of Fame player in Fred Warner be the best that he can be.
Good point, Elliot. Fred Warner owes a lot. You see them when they were doing that squat workout? I'm laughing, but I couldn't stop laughing. They got plates stacked up completely out of the camera. And what is Quan doing? Quan's got the music playing. Nobody dances when you get up. But squat's the worst exercise in the world. That stuff hurts.
Yeah.
And Quan is dancing up and all that.
If you've been there doing that, you understand that. Yeah.
Boogie.
Yes. Yes.
Quan,
I love
he's
listen, I
insane.
love having Kawan Alexander. I want to keep him so bad. I'm praying to God we pay him. I'm praying to God he can stay healthy for our team. As long as he stay healthy, I feel like our defense will be everything we want, because it don't matter who's up next. This guy brings such a juice. You can't help but to follow, dog. You can't. Can't help but to follow. I don't know what Tampa Bay was thinking letting them go. Like, thank you, Tampa Bay.
Indeed. We'll keep
Thank
him.
you.
No refunds. We're giving it back.
No refunds. You get nothing back. Nothing. And thank y'all for that, because y'all have added an element that we needed. That's such a true look. I love this dude, man. I only watched him half a season while he played for us. I was just like, yo, when this dude hit somebody going down.
And you know, you
Ain't
can tell.
no, oh, I ran through
No,
the
no, they're
tackle.
going down.
Absolutely not.
And you can tell Quan is the kind of dude you can hang out with. Man, Quan, I'll meet you down at the beach house, man. That's my treat, the first one. He's that kind of a guy. That's what I like about him,
God.
too. You can see it.
Ronbo, boy, you right on point with that right there, man. Like, I love this dude, man. I swear to you, I love Fred Warner for what he's been able to accomplish in such a short time, and being able to I watched him in college at Kentucky, so to see him grow and take over where he's been, especially when we had Ruben Patterson as the BI guy.
You mean Ruben Foster?
You know, in that linebacking core, for him to take over and be the person he is, I'm like, yo, that guy right there, he really can ball. But this dude, I never heard. Look, I seen him at Tampa Bay. I never knew he was this good. And I'm like, what the hell? Tampa Bay,
Elliot, you have made it clear how much you feel about Quan. Elliot, we got to go. But listen, where's that little guy that wanted to talk? Is he still there?
Yeah, man. You know, listen, man. I done had a little trouble. Man.
We want to say hi to him. He's become a big hit in the chat. Can we say hi to him? Can he say hello?
To who?
To you? Is that your son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come here, boy. Come here. They want to say hello to you, man. You tell the crowd hello, man, and you love this show. Go ahead.
What's up, man?
Hey, little man. Hey, what is your name?
He said, "What's your name?" What's your name?
My name is Kyle.
Kyle, you're a big hero. The 49er fans love you, man. All right. You have a good night. And make sure to behave, okay?
Yeah, he a little shy, man. He just love to see me on the show, and because I show him or whatever. So he's a 49er fan in the making. You know what I mean? So it's great. It's gonna be great for him. And guess what? From now on, I promise you, he's gonna be a 49er fan wearing that red and gold and white, ready to go. He probably gonna be on the show when he get a chance to talk about it himself.
Looking forward.
So,
Ellie,
hey, man, I appreciate you letting my son get on this show, man, to say hello to you, man, and see what I'm doing, man. And for me, bro, that's big. That's big because I'm grooming him for one thing. You a 49er fan.
Here you go.
If you're going to play football, you're going to play for the 49ers the same way that Javon Kinlaw daddy is the same. You think Javon Kinlaw daddy fell off? Woo!
He's got his fans
my
already.
son got picked to be a Niner, I'm out of there.
All right, fam. Let me see you tomorrow. We got some folks waiting, okay? Have a good night, fam.
No doubt. No, so you on tomorrow?
Yes, indeed.
You on tomorrow?
Definitely.
Okay, all right. I'm
looking
with
for
you,
you.
man. I'm with you. I've been off because I had some problems, but I'm with you.
No, I hope they iron
you
out.
Still doing your thing. Love all y'all, man. Have a good night, all right?
Thanks, fam. Nighty.
All right, dog.
All right, let's get over here quickly. We go to It's Tom.
Hello?
Tom. How you doing, fam?
Hey, how's it going?
Tom's going great. You know, we have the problem now. Tom, we've never had this problem. Well, we could have had it last year. We didn't realize it. But, Tom, we don't have problems where we have too much talent. We're that team that went for years. And all over the league, it was said, the 49ers just don't have any talent. Oh, what? Even when I say that now, I get this, ow, God. So now, Tom, other teams wish they had the talent level and pool that we pull from. But, Tom, we got so much talent now that with the new reservation they've made for teams, we got to put some guys over the practice squad, and these got to be veterans, the guys that have been around for a while. See if they can talk them into going to the practice squad. Because, Tom, as I look at the UDFAs and the rookies, we don't have enough people to put on a practice squad. The 49ers left that hole there on purpose. There's going to be 4 veterans on that practice squad. I don't know who they're going to be, but they're going to be on there. And Tom, that's why I'm asking tonight, who's going to the practice squad? Who's going to accept it? And who's some of the players you'd like to see? If we can't keep them, can we stash them on the squad? What are you thinking?
I had no clue who's going to be on the practice squad. Who's going to make the team? I think I'm not the biggest Dante Pettis fan, but I think he's going to fight hard enough to make the team.
Yeah, I do too. He makes it. Okay, and there's a point you can make right there, because I think, I could be wrong, but I think the competition Kyle was looking at, he already had his 5 guys. You know, Debo, Ayuk, Trent Taylor, Kendrick Bourne. There's your 5 right there that are probably most likely, without a doubt, going to make the team, right? So now, maybe there's 1 or 2 more spots. If it was between Juwan Jennings, and maybe both of them can make it, but is it going to be, there's about 5 guys. You got Tavon Austin, you got Juwan Jennings, you got Dante. The name that you figure is going to make it now, it's got to be Dante.
Yeah, I figured Dante will make it. Jennings is probably a little young.
And new, but he's had a good camp. But that's not game time stuff. Dante's got game time stuff, and he's done well in the games when he felt like playing.
Yeah, he has. Man, I don't know. I just want to watch some football again.
Well, you got 2 weeks, and it will be.
Line them up. Line them up already. I want to steamroll them.
First game's going to be tough. I got to tell you, I'm worried. And that's going to be probably the last game I'm worried about until we see the Cardinals the second time. I don't like playing that team. It's nail-biting, Tom. I mean, from the beginning of the game to the end. Wow. And they got a little hardcore this year. They can do anything they want to do on offense. They got every kind of player you need to do whatever they want to do. The defense is going to get tested, Tom. Oh!
Yeah, I'll be honest. They could actually get us in week 1.
No, they're not going to get us. They can't stop us, though, Tom. It may be a high-scoring game. They might be 42-37, but they ain't beating us. They can't stop the 49ers on offense.
No, here's my thought. I think we could just come out and be a little out of sync. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. We could come out and be out of sync in week 1, but then I think they'll get it together and then win like 7 in a row after that.
Only 7? So we'll be 1 and 7 or 7 and 1. Oh yeah, 7 and 1. Yeah, maybe. But you give the 49ers 4 weeks to get going, and just like every other team in the league, the offense should be hot and clicking by that time. That'll be it. They may lose 1 more game after week 5, provided they don't lose. I don't know how many games they'd lose before week 5, but after week 5, that's it. If there's not a lot of injuries, Kyle Shanahan, that offense will be up and rolling, Tom. They won't be stopped. I'm pretty sure. That's too many weapons they got now this year. You got Kittle, and you also got Jordan Reed. That's too much for most teams. It's almost unfair. And then you got Mostert. You got McKinnon behind him. Juszczyk out there running point. I got the best left tackle in the league. I got Tomlinson, who's looking better and better. You're not going to stop the 49ers from running. Right side, McGlinchey, one of the best guys to run behind in the league as well. I don't know how teams are going to stop the 49ers. Now you got Jimmy G coming out of play action. His percentages are higher in play action than they are standing under center. It's going to be rough for any team we play. So, yeah.
The 2 players I'm going to be interested in to see if they stay healthy is Jerick McKinnon and Trent Taylor. If those 2 guys stay healthy, I think they can put up really big numbers. But
Let's see about McKinnon. We already know about Trent Taylor. You can go to him on every other play and go and dime and nickel a team to death. 10 yards, 12 yards, 11 yards, 8, 9. You just keep on going. That's what he does.
Oh man.
It'll be a fun season.
Well, how long is will we be able to get Fred Warner back before week 1?
I think so. You know what? I'll go out on a limb. Tom, Fred will be back. He got diagnosed yesterday with COVID. That's Monday, right? Or Sunday.
Yeah.
He'll be back. You only have 5 days. He'll be back Saturday.
Oh, you only have to quarantine for 5 days?
They won't tell us. They didn't say he's actually got it. They didn't say how or what. But if he contracted it, they would have said so. He doesn't have COVID, but he might have been in a situation where he got exposed or something like that. So after 5 days of testing, if nothing shows, I think that's it. He can come back out on the field. So, yeah.
Man.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday,
I can't wait to see our defense stop everyone.
I hope so. The defense is just naturally raw, so it's not about teams confusing the 49ers defense, but we'll see. I don't know. Cardinals are going to be tough, though.
One of my friends is a Dallas Cowboys fan. He keeps bragging about how good his offense is going to be. And it's like, yeah, but your offense doesn't need to be good. Your defense does, and that's your issue.
The 49ers can stop the Cowboys' offense. That doesn't scare me. Their defense, they got some serious positions where we could really exploit, and you know how Shanahan does. He's going to exploit them weaknesses. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tom, I'm going to go. And then let's we'll be back tomorrow night to see what's going on. All right.
All right.
I'll
tune into your show.
Looking forward to it, Tom. Night, fam.
All right.
Yeah. See, we got to look down the roster again to make some jokes about some teams. I know we can't get too cocky. Last year I did get cocky, but I didn't even I had a feeling they were good, but I wasn't really sure. This time, you look at like the offense, how it's been boosted, and we scored a lot of points. I think we were number 2 or number 3 in offensive production last year, and the team wasn't complete. Not really. As far as offense goes, now you got Jimmy G with a whole year and the knee brace gone, a better understanding. They're already saying he's out there making quicker decisions. Jimmy G gets comfortable in that offense. Look the hell out. John, thank you, Josh. My man, I forgot to ask, once again, where the hell is Shaleo? Shaleo! After Dante Pettis started doing a good job, Shaleo has no longer anybody to whip on. let me. It also says he vanished months ago. Has it been months? I think it's only been a month or so. He has to be stashed away in Dante's basement. Dante has officially kidnapped Shaleo. Oh! He'll let him out. He'll let him out for opening day. He's got to punish him, though, because Shaleo's been all over him and his cats. Oh, God. What's it? Hey, Ellis! Ellis.
Okay, let it come out.
Ellis?
Yo. Wow.
Ellis!
Hey, my bad. I'm over here at my family house. My family is in town from Texas, family, and I had you on.
Oh, you got relatives in from Texas?
Speakerphone, so I heard you.
All right.
Yeah, I got some family in from Texas. Yes, sir. Yeah, we here, though. What's going on, champ?
Yeah, we're looking at tonight. I'm trying to figure out who's going to be the players that the 49ers have to actually say, listen, I can't put you on the 53, but listen, what I want to do, listen, hear me out. I want you to understand, I'm going to waive you, and we're going to bring you back on the practice squad. All right? Now, you're going to get plenty of playing time on the practice squad, I can assure you of that. So I'm saying, Ellis, you know, there's a few guys I don't want to see leave. I do not want to see Tavon Austin leave. J.J. Nelson's already been put on the IR. I do not want to see Cyprian leave, but he already told you, I ain't playing on no practice squad. You know, Corey Hyder might make the team. I don't want to see him go either because Kusurik is just loving this dude. And if Kusurik likes you, you must know what you're doing. So, you know, I don't know. You get 4 guys, and CJ is going to take up one spot because Kyle ain't going to let CJ go. So I'm trying to figure out who, you know, right? We all say this, but Kyle doesn't want to hear it. CJ will be with this team. In fact, I wouldn't bet against him making this team next year. And his contract is up.
Goodness.
God.
Right. And then you're going to have to actually give him some money.
Yeah, right.
You know, some money, you know.
Ooh,
so
no,
it's like,
wow.
Jesus, come on, man.
No, Elliot, you know what?
And who's that? Who's that other?
They ain't paying him no money. That'll save us. CJ's got to go next year, because you know what quarterback the standard for quarterback is. I don't know if they got to meet that standard, but the fee has been set.
What round was he?
3rd.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he won't be looking at too much. But yeah, if you said they had an already set amount, then hopefully we don't keep him unnecessarily. But again, you know, Kyle likes to have 3 quarterbacks because I mean, when one goes down, if another goes down, then who the hell's going to, you know, take the snaps? So he kind of
knows his system.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's critical, you know, those kind of things you have to, you know, consider. And so I can understand and empathize with, you know, kind of his view and what he's looking at. I just like, you know, CJ really used to piss me off. But
Ellis,
go ahead.
You're right though. That's very important. CJ makes this team for an indefinite period of time. You know, because Dak Prescott, you said what round he get picked up, and Dak Prescott get picked up in the 3rd round, didn't he? Something like that. And he's talking about he needs $40 million a year. So you know what? It's contingent upon a few things. I guess you need to be a starter. So CJ can be brought back for a negotiated price. He doesn't necessarily have to have, unless you're a starter. You don't get franchise money. Yeah. So okay. Ooh.
Yeah, and I heard he's gotten a little bit more physically in shape and stuff like that. And one of the things that used to piss me off is he was so damn slow rolling out the pocket. It was like, I mean, him and Tom Brady would have been neck and neck running a 40. But you know, but Tom's got the arm, and Tom actually moves even a little bit better. I don't want to do him like that, but you know, he moved really slow in and out the pocket. That's what irritated me a lot with CJ as well. But anyway, yeah. I don't know, fam. You know, it's kind of up in the air. I like the Cyprian guy. I like the fact that he's got the attitude to where he's, you know, unwilling to even, you know, to take, you know, anything less, you know, than actually making the active roster and being a part of the team, because he knows what he has to offer. And I think we need somebody like that who's, you know, if that's translating into his play and, you know, in camp and stuff like that, then I think he's a viable piece that we need to have just in case. I mean, we definitely need to have some guys to, you know, to fill up in the secondary in case stuff starts to happen. And, you know, he could be, like I said, somebody that we need to keep. So Kerry Hyder, I heard good things about him, and I've been hearing good stuff about, man, I almost want to say Sean Coleman, not him, but what's the other defensive lineman that we had that, not Contavious Streets, of course, we know him.
Givens?
There's a couple of guys I've been hearing. Yeah, Kevin Givens, right. Givens, I heard, has been playing hell of a, you know, having a hell of a camp for the most part. So
DJ
there's just some guys on there. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's like we got to make sure that we keep the right guys and we don't put the wrong guys on the practice squad. I mean, I like Jermichael Hasty a lot and what I've been hearing about him. And like Kyle said, these guys are one injury or one play away from these guys being brought into the, you know, onto the squad to play. So I mean, look at all the injuries we've had just within this amount of time with camp, in this short period of time. So it's, you know, I don't want to say it's guaranteed, but it's damn near a guarantee that if you are on a practice squad, you're going to be playing before you know it. So don't get so discouraged.
But remember, Ellis, you got you got 2 weeks you can bring practice squad players in anyway. So you can put them on the active roster, game day roster, and everything else. If you want to, you don't have to. You can put them back on the practice squad 2 weeks later without having to put them on waivers. See, because I've already got if Jennings is one player I have a feeling is going to be on the practice squad, as is Hasty. Pete Carroll's sitting there chomping at the bit, waiting. You put Jennings and Hasty on the practice squad, he's going to sign them. I already promised. I know it because they need a rough wide receiver like Jennings. Hasty's already proven he's a good running back. They'll take him because they didn't sign Ahmed. So I'm a little worried about that. But you got to sign him to your 53, and that there's no experience for those two guys. That could hurt them, but they may have a plan. But I know those two guys, they are prime meat for Carroll.
Yes, you know he's dreaming about us all the time, night and day. They're looking. They got their notifications ready for 49ers news of anybody getting released. They just scooped DJ before we could blink an eye. And, I mean, he's not even going to be able to play. But, of course, they went and got him. Right? I mean, talk about desperation. He's not even going to play a whole damn season, and you guys went and snatched him right from under us. We understand, though, and it's flattering. I'm telling you, this shit is flattering. We got to just, they're basically putting us over them without even verbalizing it. You know what I mean? Because they're so eager to come and get any and every player we got, that we get rid of. And it's not the first or the last. We'll say that. But I don't know, Ronbo. It's kind of shaky because they've cut it down, and I don't want them to put the wrong guys on the practice squad, and then we end up losing them, and then needing them later on down the line, and having to actually settle by either moving somebody around into a position they're not familiar with, or getting some underwhelming players elsewhere, which can very well happen. So I don't know, fam. It's kind of shaky
scary
with all these injuries and stuff. Yeah. There's just been too much going on. It's like we got a lot of guys hurt too, so it makes it kind of even a little bit more, kind of difficult, meticulous and trying to figure out what we're going to do here.
But
I just hope we make the right decision.
But also, you know what? Remember that year Kyle said he would not put Kendrick Bourne on the practice squad because he knew somebody was going to eat him up as soon as he got on there. See, they're going to have this. They're going to have the same vision. There's certain players I think they know better because 49ers have come razor sharp since they first became that. This duo came back, and they know who not to put on the practice squad. So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, fam. How you feeling though about it? What are you thinking? I'm hearing some good things. I'm kind of concerned about Javon a little bit, but I guess we'll worry about that when we get there. We'll see. He's going to take time. We got to be patient with the young guy. He's going to get acclimated. He needs a little better technique and some other things from what I'm hearing. But he's still worthy of getting that shot. And he is. He's definitely green. But we're gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? I just don't want us to get rid of any of those good interior defensive linemen. And Grant made some good points today. I will say, just talking about how early we got him. And how we could have actually got Christian Wirfs, or we could have got CD, and kind of just did some other things. There's a couple of other players that we could have gotten with, that will come in and play right now. Because when you get guys that early, you're expecting them to come in and play and start, and get down and dirty right now and be an asset to the team. But so it's kind of like a crapshoot. But we're not gonna. We're not going to give up on the guy yet because he's like I said, he's learning, and I think he's definitely building his technique and stuff, and he's paying attention to who's around him. He's seizing the moment.
And because he's a first round pick, I think people are expecting. You have these lofty expectations, but you shouldn't because he is. He came in the league being. His advantage in college was he was physical and he just overpowered players. Now, he needs some work on his technique.
Right.
He can still overpower people. He's still the biggest man on the field. So, other than the offensive lineman. What's that guy the Jets picked up, that offensive lineman that's just huge? Anyway.
I can't remember. We don't pay attention to Jets.
He's another guy that I was looking at as the 49ers. Maybe think about picking him up out of the draft because that's a truck coming down the field. And I'd love to see him and Kinlaw clash when we play the Jets and see what happens, just to see what happens in that. Because Kinlaw, I understand, is as strong as a horse. And I don't know about that big dude. He had a very strange name. He started with an M, I think. Fam, who's that dude that the Jets picked up in the first round? Anyway, that's the matchup. I'd like to see what happens with that. Because if it's brute force against brute force, I wonder who'd win that.
Yeah.
God. But anyway, Hey,
Yes,
Alice,
sir, fam.
good stuff. You could take your time away from the family to talk to us, fam. That's awesome. We appreciate you. You know
Oh,
that.
it's all love. No, it's all love. Yeah, I'm about to jump into this family photo real quick. But yeah,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you again, Ronbo, for your
All right.
platform and everything.
All right.
And make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe. Follow the Ronbo Sports channel. And when we coming back, family?
Tomorrow.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Much love. Appreciate
Much
you.
love back at you, fam. Good night, Ellis.
All right.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I look at this situation now. There's players that 49ers cannot put on the practice squad. I know there's players we need to put on there. I mean, I'm not even talking about because the three guys I picked out may not even be on the 49ers' mind. A lot of times the 49ers pick out players I thought were like DeMontre Moore last year. I was kind of surprised at. And like Dion was mentioned earlier, we probably won't be surprised this year as to who the 49ers do choose to go into the battle of 2020 with. But, man, I tell you, this is really – I don't want to see Jennings and Hasty leave. I got a feeling those would be prime players to take if you're going to pick on a team. Oh, John Hates, Mahaki Becton. You know what? What did somebody say about Mahaki, though? They said, you know what? This guy is probably better fit for opening up a restaurant since he's always talking about how he likes to cook. But I'd like to see Javon against Mahaki. I mean, you can see, I'm not by any stretch giving him away. I still think he's going to do a good job this year because the fact of the matter is, I just think that he got off to a bad start because the fact is we didn't get a chance to do the things that we do with rookies early in the season. But I think he's going to be fine. It's just a concern about him not being able to move at the speed that we've only had a certain amount of time this year. And he's not looking exactly like somebody you want to start. Maybe he is, but maybe not. But we got plenty of guys we could start there. But the thing is, I'd like to see. He's so massive and powerful. If he could just get him going, there's not much anybody could do about him. So, but, you know, I think Castro could get him up to speed before you know it. Fam, I tell you what, looking for what's going to happen tomorrow in Santa Clara, and we'll be back to talk more 49ers football. Hit that like button, please, fam. I appreciate those, and I look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. Niners! Do that 3 times a day, fam.